Well, it was pretty full and I didn't want to slam it down too hard. And good morning on this damp and cold pizza day, May the 1st. Yeah, it's pretty dreary out there. Once again, we're not going to see the sunrise. But that's all right. I did check the weather though. About half an hour ago I checked our local weather forecast for today and they're not predicting rain anymore. They're predicting cloudiness. Well, cloudiness I can handle. That means that probably by this evening the streets will dry up and I will be able to go to the concert tonight. All being well. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. Okay, let's roll back and see. And by the way, we are going to have a rollback today because I did come back to the model table last night, but not a lot. But I did deal a little bit with our covering up of the portholes or whatever's going on there. Got some comments on that, and I did discover something, and you'll see it in the rollback. So let's just roll back. Now, I was noticing when I was watching the final edit there of yesterday's episode that when I had sanded the seam in the back here, I thought I had done a good job, but then when I watched it on the computer monitor, like I say in the final edit, I realized that it was a pretty poor job. So I've come back here and I've redone it with the medium and then again with the fine. And I think it's a lot better. And I took a sort of a, I don't know what you call it, sort of a 360 degree sort of type look at it. And I'll just sort of run it and you should be able to see that it does look better. Especially if I lick the end of my finger and go like this, when it's wet, it really looks good. Okay, let's take a look at what I did here. Now you will remember in yesterday's episode they wanted us to remove the eyebrows from just above the portholes. Now of course the ship is upside down, but I'm sure you can figure that out. And that's what we did. Now I'm going to superimpose over here from the Nelson's manual, and it wants something removed too, but if you look at it closely you can see that the Trumpeter is asking the people who have the Nelson model to remove the larger ones with the flat tops, and the Rodney we removed the smaller ones. Anyway, that's the difference. So I guess what they were trying to do is kill two birds with one stone. They figured they could make one hull, have it do both models, and even though the hull was different, you just remove or drill different holes accordingly to make it whichever, well, you know what I mean. Anyway, it's kind of interesting. Okay, we're back to morning. Now, a little while ago, I was perusing through the manual here again, looking for what people were saying is photo etch that has to go on here later. Now, we're going to just talk about this a little bit more, and then I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I mean, as I've said before, we've beaten this to death. Okay, so I'm going along, and I'm finding places where it shows the stern, and I'm not really seeing anything about photo etch, and I'm thinking, well, if we're going to be putting photo etch, it should have it near the beginning because you're going to be wanting to spray it, right? At least that's what I thought. And we're going to be going through a lot of stuff. I mean, look at all the stuff we got to make here yet. before we even get to the superstructure. Okay, now, just bear with me here. All right, here's the stern nothing. Then I get over here. Well, sure enough, it shows photo etch. All right, it's photo etch D27. So I dug it out here. I thought we'll stick the macro lens on here, and we'll just have a look and see what do these things look like. They looking at them now, they look a lot like things that we put on the Bismarck, but we didn't put them over portholes. Okay, just let me put this thing on and we'll look at these things. Okay, here we go. D27s. And if you see Mr. T's poking device here, or pointing device, gives you an idea how small they are. And I'm wondering, because of their shape, let me get the other end of it here. I'm just wondering if maybe because of their shape, the top part of this is supposed to fit underneath one of those flat-topped eyebrows. The only way to know for sure, I guess, is to nip one off and then put it in a test tube for safekeeping. Or on the other hand, should these be put on now? Because I would think that they should be on before the side of the ship is the hull is sprayed. Now that's just my unprofessional model making experience talking here. I don't know. Let's just, for the fun of it, let's nip one off and see how it fits there on those flat-topped eyebrows. I could be wrong, but I think it's going to just fit right underneath it. Or on the other hand, is it maybe supposed to lay on top of it so that this cover? No, that wouldn't make sense. I was going to say that the cover would be sort of, proud of the side of the ship, but if it's a cover, it would be up against the side of the ship. Okay, enough speculating here. Let's just nip one off just for the fun of it. Okay, I have repositioned here so that I can bring my cutter in from both sides. Oh, this is another one of those situations. Oh no, you can feel it. I was going to say you can't feel the edge, but it does. The blade does drop down. Yeah, so we can feel the edge. I had it. Trying to get as close as I can. Alright, that's that one. Now we'll come in from the other side. This one I'm not really feeling it. Maybe I have to go and hold the blade at a bit of an angle. Okay, like that. Alright, we got it. So my thinking is maybe I'm smart to remove all 8. Like, I know there's only 4 on this sheet, but there is 2 sheets. So yeah, I'm just thinking here. Okay. And have a close look. Okay, bit of a change in plans here. Just a moment ago I was trying to set up to video, with the macro lens, putting the little pieces on the 4 portholes, or just to see how one would fit, that is. And I was thinking I'd like to turn the ship this way, but how do I hold it down? And I was thinking about, well, maybe I could take one of my lenses and just sort of set it in there, and that would kind of work. And I think what I need is a weight. And then I remembered that down in my workshop I had this weight. And what this is when we moved into this house back in the early 80s, I guess, in the fireplace, hanging from a cable that went up to the chimney in the top, was this weight. And the idea of the weight was, I guess, it was to hold some sort of a flapper valve or something closed at the top of the chimney. And it was here, so in the house. And so I took it out, and I remember, I think we did use it for a couple of years, and then the wire broke, and this thing fell to the bottom of the grate. Anyway, you get more information than you need. I think that it's heavy like lead. It's very, very heavy, but it doesn't scratch like lead. It scratches more like steel. So in all likelihood, this was some kind of a souvenir, or maybe part of a trophy. I don't know what it is. On this side here, it says WPG period. That's abbreviation for Winnipeg, Man, Canada. On the other side, it says something that I don't know what this means. It says MICAPO 80. Now I'm thinking maybe that's for 1980, because I think we moved into this house around 82. I can't remember now. It was a long time ago. No, it would be after 82. Anyway, this will make a good weight. I used to have it down in my workshop, and what I used to use it for is on the drill press. When I would pull the drill press down, and if I wanted it to stay at its bottom travel, it wouldn't, because as soon as you let go of the handle, it would go back up again. So I used to use this, and I used it for years. I just hook it onto the arm that you pull down, and it would keep it there. But I'm not doing too much workshopping anymore, so I think it's going to be a lot more handy up here. And I'm going to weigh this. I don't know how heavy it is, but it's really heavy for its size. And my thinking is that I can just very carefully here use it to hold this. I think it'll be a lot more handy here at the model table than down in the workshop collecting dust. And it is dusty. I better clean it off. I'll do anything not to spray, won't I? We're not going to get at the deck today, are we? Our little block of wood here, we're getting a lot of use out of that. And I knew you'd probably be interested, so I weighed it. Well, I was interested. It weighs 2,171 grams. That's just over 4 pounds. Yeah, okay. We won't talk about that anymore now. Now, let's put the macro lens on, this time for sure. And try and get one of our little parts here. And we'll lay it here. Well, let's lay it on the, see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's lay it on number 2. It might slide. Maybe, yeah, it might slide off. Well, I guess we'll find out. I guess I could always wet it and make it sticky, right? Okay, we are looking at the 4th one from the stern here. And, okay, I can see now already. This is the first time I'm doing this, by the way. I can see already how this is supposed to go. Oh, it's a little bit. What is that? Well, it's gone anyway. Alright. I think it's supposed to go like this, but if it is supposed to cover the... Now, if it's supposed to cover the porthole, that means it's going to have to be down. Yeah. Because if we put it... I'm having trouble adjusting it here. Just trying to get it just underneath. Okay, there, it's pretty close. Okay, now we have it where I thought it was supposed to go. It doesn't want to cover the hole. No, maybe in reality it didn't, but that doesn't make any sense. So I guess, maybe as one of the other viewers said something about he's not going to worry about it or lose any sleep over it. No, I'm not going to worry about it either or lose any sleep over it. If I don't have it in exactly the right place, maybe I would just glue it so that it something like this. I think it'll be easier to do once I get some glue on there, because it'll be easier to sort of slide around. Okay, but something like that I think looks good. Now, I don't think now is the time to put it on, because in all likelihood when I'm trying to clean the surface of the hull up here before I spray it, like I probably want to try and wash it down just a little bit and get any grease or anything, like a mold release or anything like that might be on it. At least that's the plan. I'll probably forget to do it. But let's move on here. Okay, this is sort of a call out to the Winnipeg viewers, or anybody who knows for sure. Now, I know what that stands for, but on the other side here, what is this? I'm curious now. Okay, now you may have noticed that I had texted in the comment that I later realized my mistake. And my mistake was this. I was putting those pieces horizontally. I should have been putting them vertically. And I do believe that if I was to have it vertically the other way, then it would have hung down enough to have covered over the porthole. I'm pretty sure this is the way it's supposed to go. So I'm not going to go and lay one on the hull now to try it. I can sort of imagine that it's going to work, and I'll just have to remember to do that when we come to glue them on. Anyway, thought I'd just bring you up to date on that. Okay, here's what's happening. I'm a little bit uptight today. And it's not just because I don't know if the streets are going to be wet and hard to see when I come home from the concert tonight if I go. And right now it looks like I will. The streets are drying up out there and they're starting to look light instead of dark. Anyway, we beat that to death yesterday. But there's more. Yeah, Wednesday morning, very, very early, I go in for what we shall call a procedure. And yeah, I gotta drink a jug of this stuff on Tuesday. So I guess you know what's gonna happen, right? Yeah, it's gonna be the fifth time I've done this, so it's not a new experience or anything. It's just not fun. Anyway, I'm a little bit uptight about that. I think as you get older, things start to worry you more. I remember my grandmother, Grandma Calverley. She was a terrible worrier, and her name was Frances. And I can still hear my grandfather telling her, "Don't worry about it, Frances." Yeah. Anyway, I just thought I'd mention that. I think I'm probably going to wrap it up here today. I probably will work at this a little bit later this afternoon. I won't be doing it this evening though if I go to the concert, so that'll kind of put a damper on that, you might say. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll be seeing you tomorrow. Oh man, this is too big. I can't lift that up and put it in my mouth. I'm going to have to get a knife and fork for it.